Welcome to Ultimate Brains. In today's episode, I'm joined by Connor Gresham and the Brain again. I'm Morgan Cross, your host, and he will be talking to us about how to start your own Sunday League football club. Well, the first question I want to ask you is who needs to be in a football club's committee?
You can have as many people as you like. The more help, the better. With us, there's a manager, an assistant. There's a guy that does the social media, and then there's a couple of other friends that don't really have titles at all. Everyone just mucks in. There's about 7 of us all together.
Yeah, so you don't actually have to have like an actual role.
No, there's not roles. I think we all just muck in together. When it's Sunday League, just muck in together.
Well, let's ask the Brain who the Brain thinks is on the committee from.
Thinking. On a Sunday League football team committee, you may have manager, coach, assistant manager, coach, team captain, vice captain, treasurer, secretary, social secretary, kit manager, sponsorship officer, health and safety officer, and maybe a youth development officer.
Would you agree with that?
I'd agree that that's Saturday football, like at a more intense level, you'd have that sort of personnel.
Yeah.
Definitely. With us, my nan washes the kit and things like that. There isn't a title for that, but the higher you go in football, definitely. But Sunday League is more, less of the roles, but more everyone chipping in.
Well, the Brain mentioned the manager first. What does the manager exactly do to the team?
Everything, really. If you don't have someone who's dedicated, you've got to love what you're doing with it, and not in a weird way, but obviously, if you don't get the right people in, it can become very stressful, and then it's just a chore. But if you enjoy it, then it's really good. But the manager organises the games, pre-season friendlies. The referee, you have to sort the referees out, talk to the league, hand team sheets in at the end of games, hand a team sheet into the league midweek if they want an Excel spreadsheet. There's all sorts.
Oh, thank you. But just one thing about that is, I thought with Sunday League you could hand the team sheets in on the day, because that's what we used to do.
Yeah, they're all different. So the referee in our league, Scunthorpe League, on a Sunday, we write a team sheet out before the games with a list of players, substitutions and numbers.
Yeah.
The referee gets that, and then in the midweek, after the game's finished, I hand an Excel spreadsheet into the league, put the goal scorers down and things like that, and send it over to them, and then they log the data for that.
Is there a secretary to the Sunday League?
You can have a secretary, yeah. I do the secretary work, but someone else could do it normally, but I find it a lot easier just while I'm doing it, just to do it.
Who handles the permits then for that normally?
For everything that we do?
Yeah.
I do a lot of it. A lot of the lads chip in, but we have a treasurer that sorts the money side of things out, which is a lot better, that's more intense, but with our side of things, it's just easy if I do it, I think. You could dedicate it to someone else, but I find it a lot easier to sort it myself and I know it's done.
Well, that's perfect. The next question was going to be what is a treasurer I had in mind, but why don't we ask the Brain, what do you need for Sunday League to open up a bank account?
Thinking. For opening a bank account for the club, typically you'll need the following documents: club's governing documents, constitution, bylaws, etc. Identification documents for authorised signatories, such as driver's licence or passport, proof of the club's not-for-profit status, if applicable, minutes of the meeting where opening a bank account was approved by the club's members or committee.
Would you say, was you the one who opened the bank account for your?
Yeah, so we use a Monzo account, but a joint account, so everyone can see it. So obviously, I wouldn't feel personally comfortable just running one bank account, and like for me, it's good that other people can see it. And then we have an Excel spreadsheet where we put in whatever data that we need for obviously money going out for, I don't know, kit wash, footballs, etc. And put it into our committee chat at the end of the month so everyone can see where we're at. And then we'll balance it up at the end of the month to show the lads, and we keep all of this lads as subs money. I make a list and that goes in as well, so everyone can see what we've got. And then obviously if there's any money left over, it's on club nights out or new kits or balls or etc. like that. So it's no one's ever profiting out of it, and the lads get all the money back with them to do.
So you can monitor who uses it?
Yes, definitely, yeah. But I'd advise that make sure most people, like there's not more than one that looks after the money side of things, definitely.
Where do you normally like play, as in Sunday League Football Club? Do you have to like buy pieces of land, or can you rent, or can you ask permission to play in fields?
Yeah, you can get permission. Some people obviously get free permission. Some cost quite a bit. Leisure centres that now have 11-a-side pitches that you can rent.
Yeah.
We rent our pitch off of Belton, which is a playing field basically, and they have their own committee, and then there's a field there. We approached them and said that we'd like to start a football team. They come up with a figure in the head to use their pavilion and showers and rent the pitch for the day, and then so it can be straightforward. It's more finding the pitch that's not taken up and then someone letting you use it. Some are more lenient than others. I know that the older committees can be a bit frosty.
Yeah, I'm guessing you'd have to bring your own equipment too, like goals. How would that work?
You can get grants from the FA. We had a grant. Otherwise, as a Sunday football team, you cannot possibly do it. Obviously, when you talk about goals, it's thousands. So if he was looking for somewhere to play, I'd definitely look at somewhere that's already got pre-existing facilities, i.e. a football pitch that's marked out and goals. We started from scratch, and luckily we got the grant to do it, and it was hard work. But you have to apply through the FA for grants. You can get grants for machinery, pitch maintenance, all sorts of things. If you get them, that's otherwise no. But
what is a league, and like who do you play in the league?
You can enter more district leagues. So obviously we're halfway between Scunthorpe and Doncaster and Gainsborough. We went in the Scunthorpe League on a Sunday. There's a Gainsborough Scunthorpe League, a Doncaster Sunday League. So what you do is obviously find out what league you want to play in, go on FA Sunday League Doncaster or FA Sunday League Scunthorpe. You'll find contact details on there, ring their secretary, say I'd like to have an application to apply for the league. And then they'll approve it. Then obviously you have to sign your players up, to register it to the league, and they'll decide what league you go in. There could be 1 to 5 leagues, there could only two divisions, there's 3 divisions. And then sometimes it goes on ability, but obviously if you're starting fresh they don't know, so they'll probably just put you in the bottom league and then you go from there. And then the league organises all the fixtures and everything, so you'll get a fixture list. You normally start on the 1st September. They'll give you the fixture list for every home and away game on the dates, cup games, and you just follow it down, and that's what you do. They provide the referees for the match day. If you play at home, you pay the referees' fees. If you play away, you don't. Referees' fees are normally from £25 to £40 on a Sunday. Yeah.
You said that you get your fixtures on the 1st September, so I'm guessing like a football season it lasts from September to like when, like
September to I'd say 1st of May. Sometimes it spills over in May. It's all weather dependent. You can get cancellations and things, but we start normally in August, late July, because obviously most teams have a pre-season, some people don't, but lads like to get back in and start playing football, and it's good fun in the summer because the sun's out and then you get back to go to the pub after and things.
You also mentioned FA, and for people who don't know, that is the Football Association, but the people who run the country essentially is a County Football Association.
Yeah.
Can I just ask the brain, what is the County Football Association?
Thinking. The County Football Associations serve as the primary governing bodies for association football in England and the Crown dependencies. Their role encompasses overseeing all facets of football, including club and player registration, and fostering development among clubs, players and referees. Presently, there are 50 county FAs, many of which correspond to historic county boundaries. However, some cover multiple counties, while certain major cities, renowned for their football heritage, have their own FAs.
So you mentioned that you're in between like Doncaster and Scunthorpe, which are in 2 different counties, Yorkshire and Lincolnshire. Which county FA would you be under?
So with us in Epworth, we're Lincolnshire. So all the little leagues within the county will play they get entered into the county cup. So we've got the Lincolnshire County Cup. There's obviously, like you said, there's different counties, and then that's like the big trophy where all the leagues compete and get to the final. That's probably for Sunday League. That's like the crown jewels to win the county cup. So as well as if you're playing on a Saturday or playing on a Sunday, especially on a Sunday, if you get carded or booked, the FA have a whole system online, so they'll know if you've been sent off on your band and things, so you can't play and stuff like. They organise all that. They'll send you the bills for the fines, etc., stuff like that.
What insurances do you normally need to start up a football club?
Public liability insurance. The FA can provide it if you sign up or ask the questions to the FA. You normally get like a league secretary and things. You'll find the numbers. You ask them as many questions like that. They're really helpful, to be fair.
Yeah.
They're open Monday to Friday. Just ask if not, you can take your own public liability insurance. But it's easy to go through the FA, I find.
Yeah. Because football is a very competitive market, there's a lot of football teams everywhere. How would you go about recruiting players? Because you've obviously just made a Sunday League football team.
Yes. A lot of my friends, we've all played football before, and a lot of us have just been not playing recently. Obviously, when you get a bit older, work and commitments, and then just decided it'd be a good thing to start his own football team. Yeah. I'd say use social media, word of mouth's a good one. But normally, if you've got a good core of players, and then you can build around that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I'd say if you're going to start, make sure you've got at least like a good starting base. Don't starting from scratch would be really difficult if you didn't have any friends around you, I should imagine.
The penultimate question I have is: how often do you train? And is there a coach, or is it the manager who does it, or is there a coach who what's he doing them sessions?
Yeah, we train once a week. We're just a Sunday League team. Most Sunday League teams will not train. Saturday footballs, that's different. They take it a lot more seriously. They'll train once, twice a week, some even more, and they get paid. Sunday League, we do it as it's good fun on a Wednesday, keep people fit. But we book a Astra Court out at the local leisure centre. Yeah. You have to book it early doors, get booked up pretty fast. So we book it from the season starting to the season ending, and it just keeps everyone together. And it's good to see people on a Wednesday night and keep fit as well.
Yeah. Well, the last question I have today is: how do you solve differences between players or problems between players in the club then?
Good question. I find if you lay the laws down early doors, keep things fair, you normally don't get any hiccups, but sometimes you get the odd player. But I'd say if you've made a decision or someone's not happy with it, don't try and please people, because you're never going to please 20 people in the football team. That's the thing. If you keep it fair, then everyone knows where they stand. But if you've got favourites and try and please everybody, it's never going to work. But I'd say communication is the key. I wouldn't, if you're thinking of changing something or you think something might get not be happy about a decision, I'd let them know beforehand. Say, I don't know, if you was not starting a player, sometimes I'll tell them like a day before or something. Yeah. Then obviously they get their head around it a bit better than thinking they're playing on a Sunday morning and then turning up in the rain and they're not. Then you can easily fall out with people.
How would you because obviously if you tell them that you're not starting, but say if you're a club with struggling players coming in, so you have you bring in 13 players. Yeah. Personally, I would deal with it as I put one of the people who doesn't normally play in that position. I play him there. Yeah. But what if his ego's that big and he's like, oh, I'm not going to get swapped out because we're struggling as it is?
So it's a good question. So say if we're 3-0 up, 4-0 up, and it's a bit of an easy game, I tend to take the better lads off early doors. Yeah. So then they know that they can be substituted. And normally, if you lay the law down with good players, and they're quite happy with it. Yeah. It's more if you're bigging them up all the time, and then that's when you start. You make a rod for your own back, personally. Yeah. But then keep it fair. And if your communication is the biggest thing, if you let everybody know where you stand with it all, then people, if they don't like it, there's nothing you can do about it. Let people, if they want to leave or they want to be like that, then you're never going to win. There's no point. Most of us are grown men now, so you should be able to take it on the chin. But yeah, as far as if we've got not so good teams coming up and things like that, I always tend to give the lads that are not as good as the lads that are playing a better run out and things and keep it fair. If you're not doing that, then there's no point. It's not fair. So yeah.
Well, that's all I have today. Thank you, Connor, for coming in.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brain, for answering the questions.
Goodbye.